All right, back to Minecraft fishing. Now that we've learned about loops, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and instead of having to click like this and fish each time, we're going to have like a cheat button, or maybe a key, whatever we do. And when you click it, it'll use a loop to do some rapid fishing. Okay. I also want to fix this. It looks like I made the font a little too big. I think I did that just because I wanted you guys to be able to read it better. Font size 18, let's just get rid of that. I think the default's 16. Anyway, so it's a little smaller, but now it'll fit on the same page, or the same line. Okay, anyway, the point of this video is loops. We're going to use loops to be able to do fishing quickly. Let's try that. Let's add buttons. So right behind, underneath this list here, I'm going to add another paragraph. And in that paragraph, we'll add a button with the ID. Let's go increments of 10, maybe, plus 10. So I'll say plus 10 is the name of that button there. So whenever I click this button, I want it to go 10 times. All right. So I save that, and we should now see, oh, how come it didn't go to a new line? Oh, because I'm telling things to float. Okay, float, I actually don't use float very much anymore now that I learned about like flexboxes and grid and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do to this paragraph is I'm going to add a class called clear. And in my CSS, I'm just going to go dot clear is going to say clear both, which basically tells it if there's any floating that happened before it, don't do it anymore. Okay, so there we go. It's not floated. You could also use a little bit of margin top 10 pixels. Hopefully that did some. Okay, whatever, forget it. Okay, there's a button. I can click it, and we're gonna do stuff with it. All right. My JavaScript. Let's add an event listener again. So I'm just gonna do that. Add event listeners. I'm gonna do that all in one place, and then we're gonna go get elements by ID. I forget what I called it already. Plus 10. So quotations plus 10. Add event listener. When I click it, click it, I want to call a function called plus 10. Why not? Okay. So in my event function sections, we've got this function catch fish. Ooh, that's a big one. Let's actually just minimize that for now. And I'm going to define another function called plus 10. All right. So just like this function still is there, right? But I don't need to know its contents right now. Okay. Plus 10. What I want to do, I want to do something 10 times. So hopefully we're comfortable with loops now. Well, this is practice. We initialize the variable n to keep track of how many times I'm going to loop. I'm going to start at 0. N is less than 10 will be my test. And n plus plus, right? So I initialize, I test, I update, and in here, I want to do something 10 times, right? This is the body of my loop. Well, this is really cool. This is actually a little bit of an introduction to CS20, where we learn more about how functions can help us. We use functions a fair bit as these event listeners, right? Like we store the code in here, and when an event happens, we'll do the function. But we can actually call functions ourselves as well, whenever we want. So what I'm going to suggest is, what I'd like to do 10 times is the code inside of this catch fish function. I want to get a random number, I want to test it, and based on what the random number is, I'm going to either catch a fish or junk or treasure, and I'm going to update my results and show an image and all this stuff. So I want to do everything inside of this code. So I could copy and paste everything inside of this function and put it inside of this loop here, and that would be great. It would work. Actually, let's do that. So I'm going to copy and paste everything inside of the function. Copy and paste. And now I'm going to hit Shift-Alt-F to format the document. So now you can see that inside of my for loop, starts here and ends here, is all of that stuff. All right, so if I save that, I should now be able to hit plus 10. And there's 10 things. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Plus 10 again, plus 10 again, plus 10 again. So that loop is executing the code 10 times. Awesome. And of course, how easy would that be to change? If I want it to be plus 100 instead, you just have to change this number here. All right. But I wanted to show you, and this is really cool. Instead of copying and pasting all of that stuff, I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo. Instead of copying and pasting everything here, I can actually just tell this function to do its job. Right? I'm going to say catch fish, which is the name of the function, like I gave the event listener the name of the function. But to tell the function to do its job, I simply have to add the open and close parentheses at the end of it. So now it should work exactly the same. I'm going to save this. It's refreshed. I hit plus 10, and it works exactly the same. Okay, so this is a huge advantage of functions. I'm storing this code inside of this catchfish function, and my event listener can call the function to do its job, and I can also call the function myself to do it over and over again 10 times inside of this loop. Cool. So now really easy, I could add another button if I wanted to, called plus 100, plus 100, save that, and I'm just going to copy and paste this, plus 100, plus 100, awesome, and I'm just going to copy and paste this function and call it plus 100, plus 1, and then do from 100. Okay, and this whole copying and this paste, these functions here are very similar, aren't they? Except the loop is different. In CS20, we'll learn a way that we can also make this more efficient as well. But for now, I'm going to leave it. Okay, the main focus here is we're doing this loop. Okay, so do that now. I hit plus 100, and does plus 10 work? Okay, let's open my console, see if there was an error somewhere. Oh, cannot read, add event listener of null. Probably because in here I did 101. There we go. Plus 100. And in here I'm looking for plus 100. Right? It said it was trying to add an event listener to null because it couldn't find that element. Common mistake. All right. Now let's see. Plus 100. Bam. Just like that. 100 fish. Hit it again. Bam. 100 fish. Okay, cool. All right. Now, we've learned that loops can do things a set number of times really well. For loop's good for that. We also know that loops can do things until, right, an unknown number of times. So I'm going to do this until, maybe I want to go until 100 treasure. Until 100 treasure. Okay, so I want it to keep trying to catch a fish until I catch 100 treasures. Crazy. All right, let's see how that works. That's a really long ID, but that's okay. Until 100 treasure. Save that. In here, we'll go document.get element by ID until 100 treasure. Add event listener click until 100 treasure. We can name that whatever we want, but that's fine. Okay. And now let's go here and get that function until 100 treasure, like so. And now I'm going to do a while loop. We know that we've got these variables, global variables, num treasure. So I'm going to use that in here, and I'm just going to say while num treasure is less than 100, I want to catch a fish. Mind blown how easy that is, right? Isn't that cool? I already have initialized this num treasure variable. The catch fish function will catch one fish, and it will update the variable num treasure. And I will just keep doing this catch fish function over and over again until num treasure is equal to 100, right? Until it's not under 100, which will be once it equals 100. Bam. Okay, let's see if this works. I love this. Loops are so powerful. Using that function over and over again is awesome. Until 100 treasure, let's try it. Boom. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. I should have picked a smaller number. Unless there's an error. I wish that it would be displaying the images one at a time, but I think what the browser does is it's kind of stuck in this loop, and it's waiting until it's caught that 100, and then it'll display. I think what I'll do next time is, so that we can see that something's happening, is maybe do a console.log in here, so that we can see that something's happening. Otherwise, what is my percentages of getting a treasure? Probably too low. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh this page. I don't even know if I can. It's probably stuck in a loop. Okay, I'm gonna close it. Okay, here we go. Let's try something that's a little bit faster. I think that would have still worked, but let's try something a little bit faster. Let's go until 100 fish. That'll be easier. Until 100 fish. We'll save that. Go to my main.js. Until 100 fish. Change this to until 100 fish. Right there. Until 100 fish. Now we need to check num fish. And I think what I will add here is a little, let's go to our catchfish function, and I'm going to add a little statement here where I'm going to go console.log num rawfish, oops, right, to say, okay, I caught a rawfish. Actually, maybe I should just print out, no, let's do that. I'll print out rawfish plus num rawfish. Okay, save that, and we'll copy and paste and replace that with salmon, num raw salmon, and then go to the next one. Actually, you know what? I'm running out of time on this video. Let's just print it out when I get a raw fish. It would be cool to have it on the other ones, but like I said, I've got a 15-minute max. So, all right. So we're going to stop this one because I closed the window. Let's try to go live again. There it is. Let's open up our console. I don't know what that blob thing's doing. Let's hit this. Oh, all right. Main.js, line 70. We got problems. Oh, because it's num rawfish, right? Num rawfish. And is that what I put here? Num rawfish, yeah. Okay, let's try that again. So at least I know the button's working. And there it is. Cool. So I don't know how many times the loop needed to run. We could add up all these things here, right? But it ended up going up to rawfish is 100. Okay. And then once that was done, it displayed all the results. So if I hit it again, of course, it won't do anything because rawfish is already 100. But if I refresh the page until 100 fish, boom, and then it gets it. Okay. Yeah, the only thing in the back of my mind is I would love to be able to do it so that it would show, it would update the page at the end of every loop. There's probably a way I can force it, but I don't know how to do that right now. But at least you could see in the console that it was updating the fish here, and then at the end it displays all the stuff at once, which is probably smart, right? It's trying to optimize and save all the updating of the web page for one load so that it doesn't have to constantly do it over and over again. But I would have liked to see the fish appear one at a time. I'll work on that. If I figure it out, I'll make another video. In the meantime, key messages here, right, is this idea of reusing this catchfish function inside of a loop. For loops to do it a set number of times, 10 times, 100 times, and then a while loop to do it until a certain condition is true, or as long as a certain condition is true. Awesome. Hope that makes sense. Take care. Have fun making your own simulator. I've got an assignment for you to make a Mario Kart item box simulator. All right. Take care. Have fun. See you in the next video.